in this jing, I'm actually going to move some items around in my pivot table to give it a completely different appearance. And basically, the reason that we may want to do this is we may want these same variables in our pivot table, but let's say that I went and I delivered this information to someone and they came back and said, well, I don't really like this appearance. It doesn't really mean much to me. Can you display it in a different way? Because I don't know what 1 and 2 mean, and I just can't quite figure this out. So could you do this in a different way? And the answer is basically yes, and we can do it fairly easy. So with just clicking anywhere in our pivot table, it's going to bring up our pivot table fields box over here. And without changing the values that we have chosen up here, we can change the appearance of our pivot table by simply grabbing one of the items that is in a row, like the trade type, which was import and export, which are the 1s and the 2s in column A, and we can actually move them over here to the column. And when we do that, you're going to see that now everything is moving horizontally. So now, instead of the states having the 1 and the 2 underneath them and then a total, they now have the state name and everything runs in a row. So with that said, now what we can do is we have column headings, and now I can go in and I should be able to change the name of this by going into Analyze, and I should be able to change my setting, hopefully. This part I'm struggling with about how to change the name on it, so that I'm going to have to figure out. But we could change the name. Let me read my text and I'll be right back. Okay, so I figured it out. I had to do a little research. There are ways where you can change the name of your items up here, basically your titles. One way is to click within your table. You can come directly over here and you can type right in here and change it. But the best way is to go up to Analyze, and you'll notice that right in here, it's our pivot field name, so we can edit the name of the active field. Now, I played around with this for a little bit, and basically it changes the name of it. However, it only changes the name right here and over here in your whatever area where you changed it. It doesn't actually change it in your image. So what I did is I decided, as you notice, just like with regular old Excel, in our formula bar, we have the name in here. So what I decided to do was to come down here and look in column B and type in that 1 is export and that 2 is import. And then if I wanted to change anything else, I could. I could put in here, maybe I could add in here, export total, and then over here I could put import total. And so what I'm doing is without changing the actual data itself and what's coming from my original sources, I am able to change this so that, one, it's appealing for my end user by having proper titles, and I can change the layout. So if I were to now decide, that I don't like it like this, I could then take my column and move it back down here, and you will notice that my import and my export stay, and I'm able to still see that, this is more appealing, and maybe my boss would like it this way.